without further ado, your third indie poet for the night. Please make some noise for Maya Wright. Make some noise, y'all. Make some noise.
The American Red Cross Association does not recommend you attempt to put out fires yourself. Instead, call for help. But what happens when my smoke detector sirens are treated like false alarms pulled for fun? We had several house fires when I was younger. My mom's forgetfulness narrated her an arsonist. So from 5 to 7, I trained to be a firefighter. Learned all the ways to extinguish the constant combustion of life's flames. Here's what I know. For small fires, use water. Contained fires can be smothered. For fire, caught to clothing, you stop, drop, and roll. Larger fires require an extinguisher. Remember pass. P. Pull the pin to release the safety lock. A. Aim for the base of the fire. S. Squeeze the handle. S. Sweep. Use a dragging motion from side to side until the light dims and the heat fades. This typically stops most fires. To be clear, my mom is no arsonist. She's mentally ill and forgets to turn off the stove. By the time I was 8, she became the cause of all the fires started in my class. Her forgetfulness now narrated her a drug addict because there's no option to simply remember to turn the crazy off. A classmate asked me, "Why is your mom outside talking to herself?" Students erupted into a flame of laughter, cackling until their lungs burnt. Embarrassment engulfed me. I tried to fight fire. I used water. I cried until they stopped, but that didn't stop me from being choked up at the smoke of their allegations. So from then to now, I've been a full-time firefighter, using only 3 methods to extinguish the flames of falsehoods. Here's what I do. 1, I smother the blaze, cover their curiosity with an explanation as to why my mom's not saying. 2, I stop, drop, and roll with the punches of each. And so I add a joke about how my mama is so damn crazy. 3, the extinguisher. Remember pass. P. Pull the pin to release the safety lock on jaw and finally say what needs to be said. And did anybody snicker at my mama's schizophrenia again? A. I aim for the base of the fire. Find the one who sparked the conversation about my mama in the first place. S. I squeeze these hands into fists. I make an example no one will forget. When they think about parting their lips, they'll be reminded they are no match for me. S. I sweep. I use a dragging motion from side to side until the fight in them dudes and the heat of my rage. This typically stops most fires. Because after so many times of no one coming to save me, I've learned to put them out myself.
All right, that was my right. That was my right. All right, our last indie poet, give it up for Maya Wright. Okay, y'all look good. Thank you. Are you enjoying so far? Yeah. Okay, I'm having a little fun too. So right before I came up here, someone asked me why I started slamming. And I hate this question. I hate that every time it's asked, I can only hear my dad's voice in all of his reminders. Maya, you know placing 4th ain't the same as placing 1st, right? Maya, you could have did better in that last round. Maya, you so damn hard-headed. Why don't you listen to me? You know how many wins I have? See, my dad is the best slammer I know. He's the inspiration for all of my poems for him. It is never the luck of the draw, but the power punch of his performance that leaves me in tears by the end of all his bouts. This man is a walking 30, a trigger warning on repeat. He knows how to beat the clock, but it's been me
on the opposite side of his greatest hits. His two fists have made a 10 out of my whole childhood. My dad slammed so hard he thought to teach me. Teach me how not to butt the grown folks' business. Teach me how not to leave this child's place. Teach me how not to flinch in public so no one could read the closed caption of what happened behind all closed doors. See, my father ain't ever been the type to extend his arms for embrace, but he can damn sure turn a hug into a chokehold. He still slams my mom in front of us, makes her the example me and my siblings have already become. To him, we are just punching bags without the punchlines, and all of us are falling so flat there's no group piece to magnify this disdain for him. He's already beaten us into a child's place. I know to bite my tongue and write, knowing that whether he sits at them or behind them, he will see more bars than I can fit into this poem. You see, my father ain't ever been more than halfway home. And on the day he finally makes it, I swear, he'll come in with an attitude that can fix mine. And that's my fault too. Ever since I gave him a hammer for Christmas, I've turned into a nail, something to hit and hang his disappointment on. You see, my father and I have never made it to the final stages of healing. Seems like we're always trapped in this abusive cycle. The last time he put his hands on me was last year. But the last time I recited a piece about his abuse was last night. And I'm starting to realize he'll never stop giving me new poems to write.
All right, y'all, that was my right.
All right, next up to the mic, we have Maya Rice.
The American Red Cross Association does not recommend you attempt to put out fires yourself. Instead, call for help. But what happens? When my smoke detector sirens are treated like false alarms pulled for fun. We had several house fires when I was younger. My mom's forgetfulness narrated her arsonist, so from 5 to 7, I trained to be a firefighter. Learned all the ways to extinguish the constant combustion of life's flames. Here's what I know. For small fires, use water. Contained fires can be smothered. For fire, hot to clothing, you stop, drop, and roll. Larger fires require an extinguisher. Remember pass. P. Pull the pin to release the safety lock. A. Aim for the base of the fire. S. Squeeze the handle. S. Sweep. Use the dragging motion from side to side until the light dims and the heat fades. This typically stops most fires. To be clear, my mom is no arsonist. She's mentally ill and forgets to turn off the stove. By the time I was 8, she became the cause of all the fires started in my class. Her forgetfulness narrated her a drug addict because there's no option to simply remember to turn the crazy on. A classmate asked me, why is your mom outside talking to herself? Students erupted into a flame of laughter, cackling until their lungs burnt. Embarrassment engulfed me. I tried to fight fire. I used water. I cried until they stopped, but that didn't stop me from being choked up at the smoke of their allegations. So from then to now, I've been a full-time firefighter, using only 3 methods to extinguish the flames of falsehoods. Here's what I do. 1, I smother the blaze, cover their curiosity with an explanation as to why my mom's not saying. 2, I stop, drop, and roll with the punches of each insult and joke about how my mom is so damn crazy. 3, the extinguisher. Remember pass. P. Pull the pin to release the safety lock on jaw and finally say what needs to be said. And dare anybody snicker at my mom with schizophrenia again. A. I aim for the base of the fire. Find the one who sparked the conversation about my mom in the first place. S. I squeeze his hands into fists. I make an example no one will forget. When they think about parting their lips, will be reminded they are no match for me. X. I sweep. I do the dragging motion from side to side. And the keep my vibrating face. This typically stops most fire. Because after so
Next up to the mic, Maya Wright.
You know, Maya, placing fourth ain't the same as placing first, right? Maya, you could have did better in that last round. Maya, you so damn hard. Why don't you listen to me? You know how many wins I have? See, my dad is the best slammer I know. He's been the inspiration for all of my poems for him. It's never the luck of the draw, but the power punch of his performance that leaves me in tears by the end of all his bouts. This man is a walking 30, a trigger warning on repeat. I mean, he knows how to beat the clock, but it's me who's been on the opposite side of his greatest hits. His true fist that made a 10 out of my whole childhood. My dad slammed so hard he thought to teach me. Teach me how not to butt in grown folks' business. Teach me how not to leave a child's place. Teach me how not to flinch in public so no one could read the closed caption of what happened behind all closed doors. My father ain't ever been the type to extend his arms for embrace, but can damn sure turn a hug into a chokehold. He still slams my mom in front of us, makes me and my siblings the example we've already become. To him, we are just punching bags without the punchline, and all bars are falling so flat. There's no proof piece to magnify this disdain. He just beats us into a child's place. I know to bite my tongue and right, knowing that whether he sits at them or behind them, he will see more bars than I can fit into his poem. You see, my father and I have never made it to the final stages of healing. Seems like we're always trapped in this sadistic cycle. He ain't never even made it home, he's only halfway there. And when he comes, I promise he comes in with an attitude that can fix mine. And he blames that on me too. Ever since I gave him a hammer for Christmas, I've been his nail. Something to hit and hang his disappointment on. You see, the last time my father put his hands on me was last year. But the last time I recited a piece about his abuse was last night. And I'm starting to realize he'll never stop giving me new poems to write.
Guys, we're going to talk about the Indies. In fourth place, with a 56.1 cumulative score, make a whole lot of noise for Nick Kerman. More noise for Charles.